And we've learned that we have to hang on to our hope. Well, today we're going to talk about a little something different. We're going to talk about when it's all right to take the easy way. When it's all right to take the easy way. If you don't mind standing, the 11th chapter of Matthew, 27 through the 30th verse. 27 through the 30th verse. I'm going to be reading from the New Living Translation. I'm sorry, we're going to start at 28, not 27, 28 through the 30th verse. And it reads as follows. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and the burden I give you is light." Amen. You may be seated. You may be seated. Today, coming from this text that we just read, I'd like to preach and teach under the sermonic title of The Easy Button. The Easy Button. I want to start out by asking each of you three questions, and they are rhetorical in that they are not intended for an immediate response. After I ask the questions, however, I will ask that you raise your hand depending on how you answer the questions. Question number one. If you had the ability to choose between walking up 10 flights of stairs or taking the elevator, which would you choose? Question number two. If you had the choice of purchasing a pre-assembled bicycle or purchasing one that you had to assemble yourself, which one would you buy? And question number three, for my students. If you had the choice of taking an open book test or a closed book test, which would you choose? Now remember, this is a Monday, but we are in the house of God. Amen? How many people would honestly admit that the choice between the stairs and the elevator, they would take the elevator? How many people between the choice of buying a bike that was already assembled versus you having to put it together would choose the one that was already assembled? How many of you, given the choice between an open book test and a closed book test, would choose the open book test? See, if there's one thing that most of us have in common, it's the desire to do things the easy way. I've met many people in my travels in life, people from many walks of life. Some rich, some poor, some black, some white, some saved and some unsaved. But I've yet to meet anyone who told me that they like to do everything the hard way. And I think it's in our DNA, and maybe it comes from the fact that things come so easy for our God. Well, it's easy for our God to speak this world into existence. And maybe because we are created in the image and likeness of that God, that maybe that is why we have the innate desire to do things the easy way. I know when my kids were young and we would be traveling with my nieces and nephews, I would quiz them periodically on math and spelling. And I would give them the choice. I would say, I want to give you a word to spell. Now, you tell me, do you want a hard word, a medium word, or an easy word? Oh, Uncle Ricky, just give me an easy word. An easy word. See, I modern technologies bring. Young people can't truly appreciate a microwave. They can't truly appreciate a touch tone. They can't truly appreciate all those things because they've had it all of their lives. You can't truly appreciate a good microwave until you spend some time with that aluminum jiffy pan on the side. You can't appreciate a good remote control until you couldn't find those pliers and it was time for your baby to show you change the channel. You couldn't appreciate a good touch-tone phone until you broke a couple pencils trying to be the 10th call at the radio station to get those free Commodore tickets. You couldn't appreciate those things. You couldn't appreciate a good Xbox unless you had one of those football games that you plug in and the men just kind of vibrate down. And then they would get close to scoring a touchdown and then they'd reach out and grab the arm of one of the boys and just start spinning around. You can't appreciate those things unless you've been there. Amen. So it wouldn't surprise me that a company would tap into our desire to have things easy and capitalize by creating a marketing campaign that tells us that we need our own easy button. We've all seen